It's a pro because your tax base becomes broader, more people pay tax, hence the government collect more money. But same thing, because more people pay tax, it's a con, because then more people have to suffer paying tax regardless of their income, their status, whether they are unemployed, employed, whether they are a senior citizen or a student, whether they are handicapped or a regular man in the street. So we don't oppose GST because it's a better tax system. We oppose GST because it immediately brings additional burden to the man on the street. We believe that the appropriate time to actually implement GST is a time when people's income has increased to a level that what Najib calls a high-income society. If everyone or most Malaysians have approached that range, then when you implement GST and proportionally reduce income tax, then it makes sense. It is only expected. The plunge happened not so much because Petronas is less efficient now, but because the prices of oil actually has fallen off. Despite the plunge in Petronas profits, the government is continuing to suck money from Petronas. This is creating a problem for Petronas because Petronas doesn't have enough ongoing cash flow, positive cash flow to pay these dividends. It actually has to go into its piggy bank of cash reserve to pay the government, and I think it's extremely irresponsible for the government to make Petronas dip into its cash reserve to pay the government because the government actually ran out. So it's a bit like, shareholder, I burn my cash elsewhere, I don't have enough money, this company is making profits despite the smaller profit, take more money for me to use other things. By right, it should be a blessing. Because without Petronas revenue, our revenues will be a lot less, the government can spend less money. But the way it has worked out is, instead of it becoming a blessing for the country, the Petronas money has become a bit like opium for the government. Instead of using Petronas money for constructive value-adding activities for the economy, what they have done is they have built a bureaucracy that's so big that all our oil wealth is being frittered and twisted. But we believe that the party that should fight in a particular constituency should be based on who has the highest chance of winning. To us, the case of Hadi didn't really understand the Sinju's reporter's Malay, and the Sinju reporter didn't fully understand Hadi's Malay. It appears to us like that. So I don't think that is meant. If you ask me, what seems to have been the case was that Hadi seems to have thought the question that the reporter asked was whether the three parties should merge into one party and register as one party, rather than forming a coalition. Because a coalition and a party is different. But technically, to form a coalition, you're actually setting up a new party. So I actually think that that statement came about due to confusion between the technicality of setting up a new party and actually the essence of setting up a coalition. But what is more important is the essence of what is meant by good governance, principles that are part of what PAS wants to achieve. You don't achieve an Islamic state by declaring you are in an Islamic state. You achieve certain measures, and those measures are measures that we obviously share. And I believe that PAS see these principles as being in compliance with their own principles through discussions and dialogue. A lot of the issues that has happened in Selangor before this happened because people made unilateral pronouncements. Had a meeting been called between three parties to understand the issue further, to resolve the issue through consensus arrangement, then these issues would never have arose. The party uses all sorts of innovative ways to raise funds. We want to promote DAP. We want to let more people know about DAP. In this particular case, we want to attract more young people to know DAP. We want to provide better access to all our materials, collaterals to the public. We want greater visibility. And at the same time, we hope to raise some funds for the party. In this particular case, the party did not fork out a single cent to set up this company. So there's absolutely no risk in the party. I would object if DAP invests in the cafe. the supporters who set up this cafe have to sign a very stringent set of agreement, whereby they are not allowed to carry out anything illegal in the place, even things that are socially unacceptable, like selling cigarettes. All coffee shops sell cigarettes. Okay, we don't allow them to sell cigarettes here because of the obvious negative implications. So PJ is already congested, overdeveloped relative to the type of transportation infrastructure that we actually have in PJ. So what we've done is we are very, very careful in ensuring that there is no more excessive type development in PJ until such a time when all your public transportation infrastructure issues will be resolved. This was something that I wanted to do since I was probably 12 or 13. The simple reason being that I believe that through politics you can influence policy, and Malaysia is a great country where if you have the right policies, it can be much, much better than what it is. Because it's a long-standing party that has always believed in its principles. I've seen and followed so many of its leaders to jail and out, to ISA and out, and I believe that no one does all this for personal well-being. The only reason why the leaders are willing to suffer through it is for the benefit of the country, and I think that's extremely noble. It is a party that I really look up to. Comics, superhero comics, read lots of it, get lots of it, spend a fortune on it. Golf, I don't get to play nowadays, but before I joined politics I played a lot. Travel, visit countries, particularly the Asian cities, spending time with kids, video games. There's only one person, but it's nothing to do with politics, it's nothing to do with character development. Tony Pua. For the obvious that he's able to turn something that everyone said it was impossible into something real, tangible, that's benefited millions of Malaysians and even Asians worldwide. I think he has done an incredible job.